Wow, look at that. We're live for another Joe Key Adventure Hour. This is Tuesday, August 25th, 2026. Hello to Axe, Rumble, and BitChute. Hello to Lurkers and Bots. Hello to the chat. Hello to George.
Greetings, everybody. Greetings.
We stream every night because it's all real, but the news is fake.
Oh, yeah.
Before we jump in, be sure you get your copy of The Immortal Mask, a 200-page graphic novel on sale now on my website, Dinales.com, CriticalBlast.com, Amazon.com.
Yep.
And all rights are reserved. All right, so this is from Natalie Waters. Girl Scouts accuse me of spreading misinformation today. This is modern feminists' pathetic endpoint. The Girl Scouts defending Islam incorporation into its program as Islamic's regime treat women as second-class citizens and stone them to death. All right. There has been misinformation circulating online today about the Girl Scouts and religion. Here are the facts. The Girl Scout is not a religious organization, does not teach religion. For more than a century, we've welcomed girls of every faith and background. Our national My Promise, My Faith pins invites girls to connect with the Girl Scout law with their own faith. And any other faith-based patches are developed by independent faith organization, not Girl Scouts of the USA. Girl Scout is proudly for every girl. Hey George, if Girl Scouts are proudly for every girl, why are Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts?
I have no idea.
Second, why are you having pins for every faith patches? It's like saying, no, we're not technically indoctrinating your kids. We're indirectly sending them to centers of different faith to be indoctrinated, and then they get a pin to show that they were indoctrinated.
Well, they need to, learn all about heresy and all that stuff.
Yeah. Concerned citizens, will Andy Burnham be hitting the back tonight in Kiev with Zelensky, Macron, Merz, and co? Yes, it's a serious question. Why? Clip 1. Zelensky caught excellently on live stream with the biggest pile of Colombia's finest. 2. Zelensky during a press conference clearly off his tits. 3. A train journey back from Ukraine with Macron and Merz, obviously hiding a bag related to cocaine paraphernalia. All right, let's watch.
Wait, pause. This is bullshit. This is old.
Yeah.
We were writing this story a long time ago.
Yeah. And now they're running it again. Remember. Yeah, cocaine. Oh, look, Elon Musk doing a hit.
Donor of military equipment to Ukraine, and we said that we would.
Got to get that stimulus for war, George. Remember, in World War I, World War II, to jack up the guys, they get them a shot of cocaines. You know that, right?
Yeah, they had to really narc up the soldiers, because the soldiers, if they start questioning, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Then they wouldn't be able to take care of business.
Mm-hmm.
So they said.
So I wonder if PTSD is more trauma based or more withdrawal based.
So with the other way to the ring.
Yeah.
With the other way to the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember this. You remember this? I remember this.
Petrus Farmers remembers it.
Petrus Farm remembers that our politicians is full of with coke. Hey, remember if we're gonna go on the whole situation? Remember when they found a bag of cocaine in the West Wing?
Yeah. And they still haven't figured out whose it is, even
Exactly.
though it's one of the most highly secured places.
Yeah.
It's got more cameras than cameras exist.
Mm-hmm. 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 Man.
Things to make go,
Eric, the WNBA has told to expect a lawsuit after reportedly denying former NBA player Royce White's eligibility, not notifying him. Legal counsel Matt Gates, the WNBA should preserve all records in anticipation of litigation.
Uh-oh.
They're getting sued for not properly notifying and denying her rights to play.
The rights.
You know, when you start using their own tools against them, how quickly their narrative falls apart, George.
It's very simple. It's very, very simple.
Uh-huh. Eric, Trump endorsed Senator Darlene Graham, not using her husband name, wins South Carolina's Senate GOP primary from the DDHQ. Graham support nuclearing the filibuster for the Save American Acts and oppose recess.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Eric again. James O'Keefe just dropped his bombshell on Senator Lisa Murkowski. She opposes the Save America Act by claiming Alaskans must travel 800 miles to register to vote already.
Yeah. they can go to the DMV. They can go to City Hall. And what else? There's another place. They can go to the library. And they can register to vote.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
Whoopsie. Hey, isn't she looking like Dianne Feinstein now?
Well, they need a, what is it called? A heretic? No, a heritage pass on thingy.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
She's just a little underweight more than usual. Like her life's being sucked out of her soul. Your soul is mine. But the source says, I don't want your soul. It's filthy.
The soul.
Your soul is mine. The 90s brought some amazing songs. Gunter Eagleman, the CEO of Buc-ee's, just said what a lot of business owners are thinking. He's ready to keep expanding, but may start avoiding Democrat-run blue states. That makes it hard to run a successful company. Life's too short to try to build in places that people don't appreciate what you're bringing.
Oopsie.
He wants conservative, business-friendly states with good workforces, lower taxes, and fewer restrictions. When politicians demonize success and treat employers like villains, the company leaves. Buc-ee is looking at Louisiana, Florida, Texas, Georgia, and North Carolina for future growth.
Oopsie.
Yeah, they're already building that.
And what about up here in Canada?
You're too liberal. They'll be suing them for beaver tails, brand confusion. Don't you know?
Seriously.
You know it's to be true. You just have to laugh.
Yep.
Eric, just now, President Trump goes full French Canadian mode. Never go French Canadian ever. I would never interfere with Canadians speaking French. In fact, I never even thought of doing such a stupid thing. This lie was made up by a weak and ineffective Prime Minister in an attempt to gain political support, which he has totally lost from the people of Quebec. I love the French Canadians, President Donald J. Trump. Cool.
It's one of those things, you just gotta believe somebody.
You gotta wee yourself out.
I guess so.
Wee. Natalie, exclusive. The federal government pays hundreds of social media influencers to convince their followers to take COVID vaccine. They even targeted children, pregnant women, and breastfeeding mothers. While the project didn't reveal the names of the paid participant, I have unmasked dozens. What? All right. Is this legal? Are you able to do this, Natalie Winters? Is this not doxing? I don't know. The CDC HHS poured 80 million plus into the program. The influencer operation ran through El Beacon, a public-facing cutout created by Public Good Project, which recruited 496 paid influencer. The ad disclosed El Beacon, not the government funding.
What? Holy smokes.
Here's some example of what this taxpayer-funded vaccine campaign put inside Americans' feed. Tech creator Fabio Diaz told followers, "Dole your pot. Step up. Get vaccinated. Vaccinate your children." El Beacon official account reposted it with an ad.
I wonder how they feel that they're the catalyst of a great suffering.
They don't even register it. If they did, they wouldn't be here. In a paid partnership, Angelica Castanilla featured a vaccinated 6-year-old and said her family acted partly to protect a 2-year-old. A separate ad from Ana Cruz urged children to get vaccinated and become superhero too. The pregnancy message was explicit. In a paid partnership, Marenza Davalia Madwit said babies born to be vaccinated mothers face fewer risks of COVID hospitalization. Yeah, because they didn't survive, most likely. She says she got vaccinated while pregnant to protect her daughter. Paola V. Desiree invoked pregnancy, childbirth, and breastfeeding in an official repost carrying the ad. She called vaccination the best decision for herself and daughter.
I wonder if they're still around.
Oh, they're probably still around.
On social media.
Oh, they're probably still around. This will be called libel, most likely. Natalie continues, gift cards were used to generate testimonials. Erica Marquez promoted a $100 contest. Says why you got vaccinated. Follow El Beacon and join his volunteer network. El Beacon separately offered $200 gift cards and bonus entry for sharing a vaccination story. Hey, George, if this was such an amazing vaccination product, why do you have to pay people into getting it?
I don't know.
Natalie Winter continues, this was anti-misinformation campaign, yet Julia Separovic ad says over 678% of Americans over the age of 5 are fully vaccinated. Tanya Bettis ads describe the vaccine as completely safe.
Uh-huh.
And then she produced all the names that she's found. The campaign reported 1,000 posts and potential reach of 37.2 million, but did not name a single person. I trade paid partnership labels, hashtags ad caption, official reposts, and archive ads to identify 57 accounts.
Huh.
This was not a static ad buy. Behind Beacons was a real-time social media monitoring operation designed to hone influence messages for maximum vaccine uptake. It captured
Huh.
247.7 million public messages. The
Uh,
staff the staff review results every week for trending and emerging misinformation. The report says that those findings directly inform influence captions prompt. Prompts were updated throughout the years. Comments were monitored and counter message supplied.
huh.
The government wasn't merely buying posts, it watched public reaction in real time, rewrote influence instruction, and supplied rebuttals as the debate unfolded. You know what you call this, George? A
Bullshit.
psychological operation. And you know why this is important, George?
Because they want maximum impact.
Exactly. But it's also to show you if this is happening with social media influencer, then what about newspaper, George? What about magazine? What about book deals? And what about the mainstream media, George?
What about it?
Blonde Golf Girl, never Bucky's for Canada, too blue. I fear you are correct. Mike Netter, the U.S. military is preparing for the first execution in more than 60 years, and Army Major Nidal Hassan is on the list. Hassan carried out the 2009 Fort Hood massacre, killing 13 people, including an unborn child, wounding more than 30 others while shouting Allahu Akbar. He targeted unnamed soldiers at a readiness processing center as they prepare for deployment. He was convicted of 13 counts of premeditated murder and 32 counts of attempted premeditated murder. Stripped of his rank, sentenced to death, he's been on death row at Fort Leavenworth for over a decade and has shown no remorse. The Army has developed plans, including Operation Resolute Justice, to carry out the military executions if authorized by the President. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has publicly expressed commitment to seeing Hassan's death sentence carried out. Hassan's final appeal has been exhausted. If approved and carried out, it would mark the first U.S. military execution since 1961. 13 American service members never came home because Hassan jihadist attack on his own fellow soldier. Justice has been delayed for far too long.
Wow.
Now, this is an important point, George. You know why?
Why?
Because if they're able to execute this gentleman who's been convicted and sentenced by military tribunal, right?
Yep.
That means that the military is clean enough from their traitors to start the mass execution. This is testing the water and seeing how the people react.
Wow.
Yeah. So watch that space. Watch the space.
My space.
Yes. The space. My space. Pirate Nation. PlayStation India is reportedly blacklisting some media outlet over their coverage of Sony's decision to end physical media games. Disc. According to a report from High Chaos Run, some Indian media organizations were allegedly told they would no longer receive access to PlayStation games, including Marvel Tokon, Fighting Souls, Wolverine, and Phantom Blade Zero. The report claims PlayStation India marketing team cited their coverage of the physical disc decision, saying the report put PlayStation in a bad light, and it was done for views. It also alleged
You don't say.
It also alleged some individual were blocked on WhatsApp by the PlayStation PR agency. You know what? If you're a real media outlet, a game journalist, why don't you just buy the game and review it? Why do you have to wait for goodies from the, from the company whose best interest is to make a lot of money.
Yep.
You know, I think you would gain more respect, more, if you just bought it and reviewed it and actually did a proper job of reporting. I think more gamer would go to your site and believe you credible because you're not being bribed to say bullshit.
Yep.
Katie Miller, cloud seeding has left the conspiracy theory chat. Augustus, Rainmaker just produced 19 million of gallons of water in Alaska via next generation cloud seeding over 3 hours of operation. We were the first company to provably produce precipitation in Alaska. As promised, we linked our white paper and relevant data. In the future, Rainmaker will protect and restore glacier with man-made snowfall. Immediately, this demonstration shows how Rainmaker will add new water to Colorado River in the Great Salt Lake in the coming months. We turn around this analysis in white paper just a couple of days after operating. There are many data sources that want to deepen our understanding of the atmosphere and increase our provable production. We are building the instrument to collect the data in subsequent operation. But at Rainmaker, we don't tout LOI, simulation or lab tests. What matters is physically measuring what you're affecting atmosphere and proving that we are produce water. We prefer sharing only the tech that has proven to make more water for farm, industry, and ecosystem in need.
Sure, Jan.
Hey, George, basically, if you don't believe the patents that have been posted, I guess you'll believe the people who are actually doing it.
Sure, Jan.
Marsha. Michelle Maxwell, glad that Judge Barrett finally decided to have a backbone. I'm dumbfounded how Judge Jackson even became Supreme Court Justice. She seems to have no concept of precedence and the Constitution. Justice Amy Cohen Barron delivered a sharp review to Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson's Supreme Court decision 6-3, limiting nationwide injunction by U.S. district judges. You know, I would care, but we know your compromise. Because you said your family had to protect your family, and you know what? It doesn't matter if you're two sides of the same coin.
Sure, Jan.
Yeah, sure. Donald Trump on True Social says, in the United States is giving serious consideration to changing the name of Lake Ontario to Lake America, and that we don't expect to do much business with Ontario any longer. Thank you to your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump.
The troll level factor here is off the charts. Absolutely off the charts.
A serving consciousness. This is bigger than Lake Ontario, or should I say Lake of America. Doc Ford made Ontario the point of impact where he threatened American electricity and critical minerals, but Ontario is only the pressure point. The real target is the Crown and CCP architecture wrapped around Canada's political, financial, and industrial center, the foreign influence, global capital, and centralized federal machinery that keeps placing the survival of the system above the sovereignty of the Canadian people. Trump is driving economic pressure directly into the structure and forcing every province to calculate the cost of allowing Ottawa and Ontario to drag the entire country into a confrontation confrontation designed to protect the architecture controlling it. Break that bond, and Canada can finally begin choosing what's right for Canada. Alberta can defend its energy, Saskatchewan its resources, British Columbia its Pacific Gateway, and Quebec its sovereignty without carrying the weight of a captured federal system. Lake America is the taunt, Ontario is the pressure point, and the Count CCP bond is the target. A sovereign Canada is what becomes possible when it breaks.
Boom.
Got it. Boom. Mic drop.
Boom. 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 Boom.
Boom. Hey George, remember I was talking about Porsche yesterday, correct? Right?
Is that a food?
No, Porsche. Porsche.
Oh,
Car.
I thought you said borscht.
No, Porsche. And remember when I said that Porsche is just doing the same thing as Jaguar?
They are?
I didn't know how right I was when I said that statement, because they're not only are doing exactly what Jaguar did, they hired the same company that put Jaguar where they are right now.
The fuck is going on here?
Yeah, do you understand this is Tuki? Do you understand what Porsche just did? They sold their entire IT division to India TCS for $320 million, then handed them a $1.25 billion to do the thinking for them. TSC is Tata company, the same Tata that bought Jaguar Land Rover from Ford in 2008 when Ford couldn't afford to keep it, and now they're buying Porsche Tech Brain too. The one spent decades sending IT work to India and calling it outsourcing, trained an entire country to do their thinking on cheap, and now that country is buying the divisions, not servicing, buying them. So basically they're getting the same treatment as Jaguar. Time to make it cheap. You're going to see some stupid people do some stupid things, and it's going to be cheap.
Something's wrong here. The people that are making these decisions are absolutely stupid.
Stupido.
Yes. I can't believe, the level of income that these people make would actually garner this level of lack of judgment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what the actual hell?
Yeah. You just wonder. Punchback Studio POV when you bought a Porsche, but it has an Indian AI inside now.
Well, here she is. German engineering at its finest. Enjoy.
Welcome to Porsche, sir.
Let's turn on some music, Portia. No, another genre. Fine. Portia, I need a toilet. Can you send me there?
Route set, sir.
Portia, I think you sent me the wrong way.
Beaches are for shitting, sir.
Portia, what the fuck are you doing?
Train spotted, waiting for collision.
Well, here she is.
Okay, while that is funny, a lot of that's very accurate.
That's why it's funny. It's very accurate. It's very accurate. Just letting it settle. Gunther Eagleman, 4 teens in South Jersey stole a $120,000 Mercedes truck for a joyride. They led the company on a high-speed chase, then drove the wrong way and slammed head-on into another car, killing a grandmother and her partner. After the crash, they jumped out and tried to run. They didn't get far All 4 are in custody facing serious charges, including conspiracy to commit aggravated assault, joyriding, and eluding the police. 2 lives are gone because a group of teens decided a stolen truck was a toy. And you know what's kind of interesting, right? What's kind of interesting is they don't mention the race of those teens, because
Well,
if they were
obviously
white,
racing. Wait, obviously they were racing. Why
yeah,
wouldn't they get in the crash like that?
exactly. Hmm. Tis, tis, tis. The redhead libertarian. Holy shit. All right. Connie. Gary, Indiana has been without power for 11 days. Gary, Indiana is 76% black. Yet another example of environmental racism is so effing disgusting. Community notes. The power outage was caused by severe storms on August 11, 2026, affecting northwest Indiana and northeast Illinois. Restoration in Gary was further delayed after utility crews were shot at on August 14, temporary pausing work.
Holy smokes!
Yeah. So basically, the reason why there's no power for 11 days is because the people who were there to fix it were kept getting shot at.
Okay. I'm sorry, but that is absolutely funny. So you go to, what I'm hearing is you go to the emergency ward in the hospital because something's seriously wrong with you, and every time the doctor tries to help you, you bite his hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on a sec. I'm gonna take a swing right now of ginger ale. Oh, that's good stuff. Canada Dry. What's the location of this lunacy?
This is Gary, Indiana.
What is Gary, Indiana? Is that like beside William, Illinois?
No. That's like one of the most popular city that was run down, and they make a lot of horror games out of Gary, Indiana.
They make a lot of what games?
Horror games.
What
It's a
the hell is
fantastic
that?
set. It's a fantastic horror game.
All right.
It's Gary, Indiana. You want to know where Gary, Indiana is?
Is it right beside William, Illinois?
No.
Franklin, Atlanta?
You know Lake Michigan, right?
Yeah. Well, right beside Lake of America.
Yeah. No.
Look, I'm just getting used to it. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a
Get
break.
used to it. It's gonna be the Lake of America. Well, you know Lake Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Well, the very southern tip of Lake Michigan is Gary, Indiana. It's basically Detroit on steroids.
Well, isn't that interesting?
Yeah. So it's so close. It's like about an hour to 30-minute drive from there to Chicago. And it's only and I say an hour drive because you have to be ducking when they're shooting at you. You need a cyber truck
So
to
you
come in.
have to take into account the time it takes for to receive shots.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, so people are starting to realize, wait, MJ Truth Ultra, Data Republican says she's been working as a special government employee for the Department of War. How do you feel about this? I feel these things should have been disclosed before the fact, not after, because every personal comment you ever made about various subject comes into question. And this is a response to Data Republican Smart. I began working as a special government employee for the Department of War in July to serve the country in a more hands on way. My press credentials at the Pentagon expired in June. I did not seek a renewal of those credentials. I'm currently not a member of the Pentagon Press Corps and no longer attend briefings or events as a journalist.
Oh, sucks to be him.
Her.
Okay.
So, whoopsies. But you know what? While people are starting to freak out about Data Republican, you know what's going to happen? They're going to all freak out. They're going to say all these bullshit things, and then, like always, the boomerang comes back and hits them in the throat.
That's pretty specific.
Andrew, if your parents made $100,000 in 1990, you need $255,000 to have the same buying power today. $255,000 is the new $100,000. Let that sink in. Leading report: a $50,000 income in 1990 would require roughly $130,000 in 2026 to have the same purchasing power.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
So now you know that kind of makes me want to grok a question. Grok, if 50K income in 1990 is equivalent to 130K in 20 income in 2026, how much inflation and purchasing power has been lost? About 160% cumulative inflations, corresponding to a loss of 61.5% of the purchasing power of a dollar. So basically, since 1990, the United States has experienced 160%, George, of inflation. And then with our purchasing power, our purchasing power is 61.5% lost. It takes $2.60 of equivalent dollar, George. We lost 60 of our 1990 purchasing power. We lost 61.5% of it, George. That's how our dollar got devalued.
Well, it sucks to be you. You know, in Canada, we always had that percentage.
Yeah, you gave up sooner than us. Anna Escobar posting this. Look at this. It's discount Obama 1. with who's this? Jeffrey Epstein. What? Hakeem Jeffries, the malicious claim that American Jews are inviting violence against themselves is dangerous and anti-Semitic. There is zero justification for threats against safety of our Jewish brothers and sisters at a moment of rising hate.
Seriously?
Huh.
Discount Obama is being exposed.
Huh. I feel like when Ace Ventura was in Africa and he got a stab hit in his right leg, he goes, ah! And then he gets stabbed in his other leg, ah! 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 Gen X girl, Dana Republican, has been working for the Department of War as a special government employee since July and did not disclose it until today when she was exposed by a reporter at the AP. In that time, she was targeted political parties, civil liberty groups, and U.S. citizens and promoted an Israel-funded and managed NGO. If you're an employee of the Department of War and you engage in covert propaganda campaigns directed at the U.S., you may be violating these laws. The Anti-Propaganda Appropriation Riders bars federal agencies from using taxpayer funds for covert, self-aggrandizing, or purely partisan publicities and propaganda campaign directed at domestic public. The Hatchet Act prohibits federal employees from engaging in partisan political management campaigns or using their official authority and government resources to target a political party. The Smith-Mundt Act restricts agencies from targeting domestic U.S. audience from information operation, influence campaign, and propaganda intent for external influence. The Posse-Comey Act, this law prohibited federal military personnel from executing domestic civil law enforcement operation, which can be triggered if the military information warfare units operate inside the United States against U.S. citizens. Gen X girl, I would applaud you for introducing all of these points, but you forget one simple thing. None of them are applicable in this situation. This has been canceled. This is not operate. This we've already talked about. That's only pertain to the State Department and no other agency. Plus, they already made the amendment to allow domestic propagation happening. This doesn't happen where we're in a national emergency, which can overcome this, meaning that we're in martial laws and other things. So all of this is high talking bullshit. Because we went through all of those in years ago. We thought that we understood what was going on until we realized, wait a minute. The only reason why none of these are being imposed or used or whatever is if the military is engaging in psychological warfare to deprogramming us from the 70 years of bullshit we've been experiencing. George?
Sure, let's go with that.
Let's see. Because that's been the story today, and everybody's jumping out and reacting. Oh no. Mel, according to Data Republican, she started working for the Department of War in July. And what do you know? Her first big threat after the 4th of July was a full-scale attack on Candace over Erica Kirk, featuring the NCIR report that claimed that Candace was inciting violence against Erica. The one pumped by Andrew Colvette. It's the Pentagon running propaganda operation against American citizens on behalf of Erica Kirk, or TPUSA. I think they're running military operation to show you how you guys, or we as a American society as a whole, been getting kicked in the groin repeatedly to the point we don't even feel it anymore. George?
Sure. What do you want to tell you, man? This all America hibbity jibbity stuff.
Well, Canadian as well.
Don't you dare.
Canadian. It's so obvious. I mean, Trudeau, Castro, Mark Carney being a clown. Come on. He's a clown in America, George. Just trust me.
Don't want to know.
Ben Swan. Ben Swan. Ben Swan. USAID ID ends, rap disappear. Was the culture being engineer? Yes. For the first time in 35 years, rap has disappeared from the Billboard's top 40. Timing has sparked a bigger question. Was USAID funding used to prop up rap music, shape culture, and is that operation now collapsing? If so, this is bigger than the music chart. It raises question on whether rap degeneracy and other cultural narratives were artificially amplified to influence public taste and social behavior. With Operation Mockingbird, CIA infiltrated media, cultural institutions to shape narrative, normalize war, and manufacture consent for expanding government power. There's no provable link between USAID ID funding and the rap's chart decline, but the coincidence has people asking whether the culture has been more engineered than organic all along. The answer is yes. If you actually look at it, yes. And if you start seeing things to start snapping into place, what used to be the family unit, yes. Hey, George, more than 35 years, more than 40 years. Let's see, that's 1985, right? So 1984, 85. So that's around the time that rap started becoming ultra popular. And then then it flipped in the 90s and you started getting fuck the police and all the gang and all that stuff happening. Eric, judge betray America, district judge Solomon Oliver Jr. has hereby blocked Ohio's proof of citizenship to register to vote law, effective immediately for the 2026 midterm.
Lawsuit incoming. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, incoming, and also executive order from the president. It's not going to fly. Because, Article 2 means
Isn't there a precedent set now that local judges can't make pass judgment on national events?
Bingo. And that's SCOTUS. Now, SCOTUS.
Yeah, that just happened this week or last week, right?
This week.
Yeah, so this person is really behind the times.
Behind the times, yeah. Andrew Gold. Patricia Heaton says Hollywood has become so political one-sided that she helped build a private network for people to meet in secret just to speak freely.
In Hollywood at that time, especially when Obama was president, it was kind of like Democrats ruled, and there were a lot of people that felt like they couldn't say anything who were conservative. And we ended up having to make a secret group. Did anybody tell you about this? Has anybody talked to you about it? Called FOA, Friends of Abe, as in Abraham Lincoln. So, if you're in Alcoholics Anonymous and you want to find out if somebody else is in it, you say, "Are you a friend of Bill?" Because Bill Wilson started. If you were gay in the 40s in Hollywood, they would say, "Oh, is he a friend of Dorothy?" It's in The Wizard of Oz. Right. So ours was Abraham Lincoln, who was our first Republican president. So we were friends of Abe. So you could say to somebody, "Are you a friend of Abe?" Or "Are you FOA?" And if they said, "Yeah," then you knew there was another conservative or independent or someone who was not a Democrat that you could talk to without feeling like you were going to get in trouble at your job.
Anyone not sort of in the cult? Well, I would call it the cult.
Yeah. It was actually Gary Sinise approached me and my husband and said, "Hey, would you guys host just a couple people to come over?" And it was like Kelsey Grammer and John Voight and Ben Shapiro and
what I would have done to be there.
yes. And he was like, we're like, how many people are you thinking? It'll be 20 people, 30 tops. So 80 people later, we had at our house.
Whoa.
And so it was really fun. And all it was fellowship. We weren't raising money for candidates. We didn't go protest anything. It was just to go hang out, be able to talk freely without worrying about losing your job, and to let other people know who was safe on a set. So people would come to these FOA meetings and they would see people that they worked with and they were like, "You're FOA." And they'd be like, "Oh, you're FOA."
My God.
So, because nobody would talk. If you were a conservative Republican or libertarian, you wouldn't talk about it.
For more clips like this.
You know, listening to this,
Yeah.
all I can think of is the underground movement during the McCarthy era and the communist.
Yeah.
If you're a commie, you can't work in Hollywood.
Right. So now it went from communists to conservatives. If you're a conservative, you can't work in Hollywood because the commie ones. Hey George, you would call that can you imagine the the left hearing this, that conservatives had to go underground and make safe spaces for themselves because they were suppressed? They were the oppressor?
I don't know how to take that.
Exactly. They'll have what is it? Disconnaissance. Cognitive dissidence. Or no, cognitive disconnaissance. Yeah, there you go. Admiral Robinson, the data Republican OP was always obvious. Just like the Nick Shirley OP. And I told you about Schellenberg's a year ago. And who can forget Barry Weiss OP? You have to be approved by government censor to cross the 1 million followers on this site. Thank you, Admiral, for stating the obvious. Someone sounds bitter they don't have 1 million followers. George?
You got to be a millionaire to tell the truth.
Yep. Oh, breaking. This was happening earlier, but Dolly Parton passed away at the age of 80.
Yeah, holy smokes, eh?
Yeah.
I thought she was like 300.
I know, everybody's saying she was 80. I thought she was like 90 or 100. No, that's just her wicked witch nature. That seems to be older than what she really was. Yeah. And I'm being a little facetious because that's what people have been saying online. Colonel Don Watkins just learned that, geez, the missiles weren't just in Turkey, they were in Italy as well. Turkey and Eisenhower agreed to the provocations, knowing that there would be repercussion in 1959. The missile began arriving in the beginning of JFK term in 1961, and it was a catch-22 setup. If he stopped the deployment, the military and their detractor would call him a communist sympathizer. It was a common thing intel agency and their CFR handlers do to lock in future president into their web of destruction and strategy of tension. They were purposely trying to get a confrontation with the USSR over Cuba, which had its revolution in 1958, and Castro took over in January 1st of 1959. The timing is the tell. And this is responding to Mateo. I just learned the installation of missiles in Cuba by Soviet in 1962 was a reaction to American missiles in Turkey and Izmir targeting the USSR. So in reality, it was the American who triggered the crisis, but history classes never mention it. You're not supposed to see that part of history. Also, I believe NATO was being in place, so technically it was a NATO operation, not an American operations. It was just our military guys, our military facilities, and our military missiles in place. All of the American, but still wasn't NATO. George?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sure, why not?
It sounds plausible. Well, no, it sounds American plausible.
America plausible, like America Steel. I'm laughing. You just gotta laugh at things. MJ True Ultra, they're cracking hard on fraud in California. Gavin Newsom, in a state of absolute panic, just signed the Nick Shirley Act, which literally shields immigration data from public records. Why wouldn't Gavin Newsom want to make uncovering fraud in immigrant community harder? You know why? So, yeah, if you don't think this is a psychological operation, then then you know that then you're not paying attention.
Yeah, you're not paying attention.
What do you mean? This guy has been in politics since the early 2000s. He's been mayor of San Francisco. He's been governor of California. You're telling me that he wouldn't be able to navigate with more finesse and not out in the open this blunder that he's doing? By signing the Nick Shirley Act, is basically saying, I'm pleading the fifth. I'm pleading the fifth. That's what the Nick Shirley is equal to. I'm pleading the fifth.
Yep.
Ayaka Mods, you just confirmed Discord is willing to hand over the private data of 100,000 innocent users to Rockstar. There is no consent or end crime committed by user, just pure corporate compliance. I have a feeling my prediction that people are already reporting this to the EU. Class actions are inevitable. Shame on Discord and Rockstar.
Yep.
You know why Discord handed over private data to Rockstar?
Because
who owns Discord at this time?
Oh, the Chinese.
No.
The Japanese?
Yes. Do you know which company owns Discord?
No.
Sony.
What?
Sony bought Discord.
When did this bullshit happen?
It happened in 2023. We've talked about it. Remember, one of the reasons why we got Gil app.
Okay.
So what does Discord being owned by Sony means? Well, Rockstar has an agreement with Sony. Sony has an agreement with Rockstar. They're affiliates, meaning that this is considered internal information because it's important and vital to the operation. So they didn't need to have a subpoena from Take-Two Rockstar because they're affiliates. I think they're using the wrong affiliates. They have a working agreement. They're able to share information with each other to make sure that operation goes smoothly.
Operation Smoothly.
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 No, Juicy Smollett. They can't Juicy Smollett this, George.
All righty.
Natural immunity FTW told you these people are terrified of explosive diarrhea, simply don't understand the raw power of garlic. Me, garlic works. I had an issue pretty intense in mid-June. It wouldn't go away and caused a lot of grief, especially when I was working outside my home. I haven't heard of the Cylosporora's outbreak. Finally, after 4 days of nonstop trouble and huge stress, I crushed 5 cloves of garlic, let it sit for 15 minutes, then consume it raw inside slices of cheese. Within 2 hours, it was gone, all system, all troubles.
Whoa. What was his problem?
Explosive diarrhea.
And he ate garlic?
Yep. Crushed 5 cloves of garlic, let it sit for 15 minutes, and ate it raw.
Wow, the more you know.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe.
I admit that the garlic didn't feel very pleasant here and there, as it conferred a little bit of burning type sensation going through my system, but I expected as much. Raw garlic also wipes out Giardia from my experience. Okay, so the more you know. Take some garlic, crush it up, consume it raw, and your diarrhea goes away.
Just disappears.
Disappears. Like magic, George. Like magic.
It's just one of those things. It's beautiful.
It's one of those things. Oh, by the way, the Russian market. First the CIA, now the Vatican in Moscow. CIA Director John Ratcliffe is in Moscow on a C-17 plane. Now the Vatican Foreign Minister, Archbishop Paul Gallagher, is meeting Lavrov for a high-level peace talk. 2 very unusual visitors. Same city, same day. Something is happening in Moscow. Breaking, CIA Director John Ratcliffe was on board on U.S. Air Force C-17 that landed in Moscow.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, holy smokes.
It's not a little ship, George. It's a big ship. It's a big ship that can hold cargoes. Meaning, tanks
like billions of dollars.
Or buildings.
Billions of dollars.
Or buildings.
Or lots of billions of dollars.
Yeah, or billions of dollars. We'll see what happens, George. All right. Primark. Japan is reportedly developing plans for instant blockchain settlement of stocks and bond.
What the hell does that even mean?
I don't know. Oh, it means that they see the future and they know that fiat currency controlled by the central bank is not going to be in the nation's interest, and they see that America is moving to blockchain, so they're going to say, okay, we're going to get goals and precious resources, and we're going to tie these blockchain settlements for that. Oh, and we're cutting the middlemen, the brokers, because, with stock and bond, you'll do it directly.
I guess they're following what Scott Bessett told them to do.
Basically. Ezra says this gives the game away to Carney. Building a pipeline to export Alberta oil is a burden, something he needs to be convinced to do by America. They have to give him something to do it. Alberta interest doesn't matter. Alberta is simply a bargaining chip. So this is from Peter McCaffrey. Shocking, New York Times revealed that the U.S. were keen to move ahead with the Keystone XL pipeline, but liberals used it as a bargaining chip to try and change the deal in the last hours. Why can't we get this stuff of information from remote government and media? Mr. Carney has brought up the idea of reviving it during his first White House visit last year. Officials said that when Mr. Carney and Mr. Trump spoke by phone earlier in the week. Mr. Carney again mentioned the pipeline, saying that for the right deals on tariff, Canada would consider bringing its size of the pipeline back to life. Mr. Trump was thrilled, a former official briefed on the talks said. But by Friday, the Keystone XL pipeline idea was buried again. A U.S. official said that in the last few hours, Canada had expressed reluctance to cooperate. A Canadian official said that the trade deal on offer was not good enough to make the pipeline make sense.
Okay, okay. I know what's going on now. I finally see it.
Go ahead.
I see it.
Go ahead.
Do you know how the Iranians were just pulling Trump's leg, trying to just keep prolonging the process?
Yeah.
You know, until the midterms come around.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is what's going on here. I think they're just jerking everybody around, waiting for the midterms to come around.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
What, the midterms are not going to happen?
Possibly. Or, you know, them waiting till the midterm.
Oh, I see.
But, you know, that's a good idea. Maybe the midterm won't happen. Too much fraud.
Crazy things happen. Crazy.
Crazy. All right. I think that's it for tonight.
What?
Yeah.
We're just getting started.
We're done. Thank you to Blonde Goth Girl. Thank you to Lorcas Bots. George, what's your final thoughts?
Yep.
All right. Then we'll see you tomorrow for more. Until then, bye.
I believe that together we can make America great again. I believe